Hey guys, welcome back to the channel again. So we're following on from the carburetor video that I did the other day. So today we're going to try and get the old carburetor off the Jeep, which I sure will go completely wrong, and put the new one on, ready to be all set up. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you what's actually happening with the old carb so you understand why I'm taking it off. Okay, so hopefully you can see what's going on down here. So we've got a major fuel leak coming out around here. I was hoping that was just going to be the diffuser down here, but that doesn't seem to be the problem. The problem seems to be where I'm pointing down there. There's a shaft in the carb, and I think that's where the fuel's coming out, and it's coming out on both sides of it as well. If you turn down here above this valve, that's also pouring fuel out of there. So this really needs to be changed, because it's going straight on top of the manifold, and that's just going to cause a fire. So there's a few things that need to be done before we can remove the carburetor. We need to disconnect this fuel line here. All these springs need to be pulled out. These shouldn't be here anyway. This is the bodge up way that my throttle returns, because it is missing the parts that it should have, which will put the correct ones in. So this all needs to come off. We need to undo the throttle cable here. Obviously the air horn needs to all be removed. We need to undo this bodged up mess here. This is what holds my choke and hand throttle in. That broke a long time ago and has been held on by cable ties, so that all needs to come undone. We need to undo the cable down here to pull that out, and then we've basically got the two big nuts, one on each side, which actually hold it onto the manifold. They need to come off, and then that should be able to be lifted out. Oh, I did forget one thing. We need to remove the linkage here, the throttle linkage that goes into the carburetor. So once that's all done, hopefully we can just remove this and clean it up and have it ready to fit the new carb. So first things first, we're going to get rid of this fuel line, and we'll have to take it out at this end and at the fuel pump. Shouldn't be too difficult. I know it's not tight. So that's one end off. Then we need to see if we can get this off down here. This one's a bit awkward to get to. Oh, did that turn? That did. Right, that's cracked that one. So I should be able to undo that now. Probably get some fuel everywhere, I should think. No, it's not so far. And then just, oh yeah, there's the fuel. And there we go. Let's go ahead and get rid of this air horn. This is all connected up wrong anyway, because it shouldn't have this type of carburetor again. Hop off there now. And let's remove the actual tube as well, just to get it out of the way. There we are. And there you go, that's the colour the Jeep was when I got it. Let's start removing this rubbishy old spring. That can be got out of the way. And now, if I cut off them cable ties at the back, I should be able to pull out the hand throttle. There we go. So that should pretty much be it for that. So I spin you around at this slightly weird angle. You should be able to see that we've got another bolt there that needs to come off. That's in a real bitch of a place, but apparently it's completely loose, so that doesn't matter. Has that loosened that enough? Yep, I think it has. At this point, it's probably worth me mentioning to keep in mind that I have no idea what I'm doing, and this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so you're very much learning with me here. On that note, we've got another screw here that needs to be undone so we can remove the choke cable. There we go. Now that should be able to, yep. So we just got to get this split pin or cotter key, whatever you want to call it, to come out. Right, the washer's out and that's fallen down somewhere. Anyway, now I should be able to just do that. That'll do it. Right, I think we're about to remove the actual carb then. So this is the bit I've been worrying about, because there's a nut on each side on a stud, and these are the bits I've been worrying about being stuck. So let's have a look. Oh, well that wasn't stuck at all. The second one's a bit harder to get to, so we have to take our oil can out. This one's going to possibly be a bit of an arse to get to. You have to undo this one first, because the other one needs you to lift the carb up to actually get it out. It seems to me like the actual horn's in the way of getting to this, so I'm going to have to quickly whack the horn off. That was way harder than it should have been. So now with the horn removed and also took the rest of the linkage from the accelerator off, I can just about get a spanner, or wrench for the Americans, under here. I think we're finally there. Come on. Oh. There we are. Now, does this hit the top like it does on a Carter, or am I gonna... No, it doesn't. So that one's easier, even though the other one's a complete pig. So now the big question, guys, is this carburetor going to come straight off without any crap, or is it going to kick off? Oh, well, that was way easier than I thought that was going to be. Okay, so we've got the carburetor off. Now, can you guys see what's wrong with this picture? Because I'm noticing a few things missing. We've got this tiny little gasket here, but there's not a diffuser like what I've shown you in the videos, not one at all. And then obviously the actual manifold is full of fuel from when I was trying to prime it up, and it just kept leaking and going all over the place. Okay, so what's going on there then? So if any of the people who are way more educated than me, which is most of you probably, know what the hell's going on, do the solexes not use the diffusers, or do they not have them big pads? Is this just been bodged up and happens to have worked all these times? Could explain possibly why I've had some of the spluttering issues I had. I don't know. I know a few of you definitely watch this that know way more than I do about these. So if you can give me a shot, give me a shout even, then that would be very helpful. Because this seems like a bodge up to me at first glance. So we've got the carburetor off. We've discovered it doesn't have a diffuser for some reason. The hope now is that these studs aren't for some reason too low to fit the diffuser on, because that will really screw us up. But before we can find that out, we need to get rid of this gasket and just clean the top of this up and check everything's okay. I've already used a big syringe to pull all the fuel out. Well, not all of it, but enough of it so we can stick some paper in here so it doesn't get crap in it whilst we're filing everything down, or you know what I mean, sand the surface down. So let's get that gasket off. Oh, there we go. That's actually fairly clean under there. Just going to carefully give this a wipe down without getting any rubbish inside it. With the gasket and everything off, and keep in mind how clean this actually is, all I'm going to do is wad this bit of tissue in here and just very lightly just give it a light sand. This is just a really fine sandpaper. Just want to get some of this edging off that we got on here. You want to put the bit of tissue or whatever, a rag or something in there just to stop all of the shavings going into your engine. There we go, look at that guys, nice and shiny. So now that I've done that, I've just sprayed a bit of a brake cleaner onto a rag, and I'm just going to use that to wipe off the top just to get it a bit cleaner. So I've noticed that this is very tight, so you try and put it on there and that don't really want to go down. That's going to just need a bit of a tap, I think. Yeah, I just needed a bit of force put onto it. I'm a little concerned, this stud doesn't seem very high at all. I'm a bit worried that something weird's been going on here and I'm not actually going to be able to get the nut and everything on the carb. We better get the carb and find out. Let's pop this in position and see what we're working with. Well, that ain't good. It's alright on one side, certainly not alright on the other. So you can see there, that stud's not coming up anywhere near far enough. That's a problem. I'm going to have a look at that. Okay, so we're back. I've just had a conversation with my father and we've come and had a look at this. So here's where we're at. You might notice that there's something missing here. It's in my hand. So at some point in the past, probably the previous owner, because I know he fitted the last carburetor, some arsehole, because they couldn't get the solex on properly, has decided to take the easy way out and cut the stud short. So now this stud is too short to fit on a carburetor with a diffuser, which is just a load of bollocks. So someone screwed that up. So basically I've gone as far as I can go with this now until I get a new stud, and it's Saturday so everywhere is basically shut. So I'm going to go on the website, see if anywhere sells these. I'll buy two just in case that one's shit as well. On the plus side, that wasn't hard to get out. That did come out fairly easy. My father did the old double nut trick and took it out. So we need a stud. Right, so that's brought us to an end of the video really, hasn't it? Because we can't work no more. So this is one of the reasons I do this, is so you can see the sort of unexpected stuff that pops up when you're working on all these vehicles, this isn't too bad. The stud come out easily. My dad come and sort that out because he knows ways of undoing stuff like that I don't have the experience for. But anyway, unfortunately, when I work on my Jeep, this is basically every job goes like this because its previous restorations were not brilliant. I'm pretty certain I know exactly what happened to this and why that was cut off when they put the other carburetor on, the Solex, but it is crap. So until I get a new stud, we're going to have to put this on pause. But if you enjoyed the content and that's going alright for you so far, hopefully you've learned something. And if you're thinking about getting an old vehicle, you can see the sort of weird shit that you run into when you're doing anything on them. So I'll get my stud and then I'll get back to you and we can carry on. So thanks a lot and I'll see you soon.